Donkey Kong is perhaps one of the most popular video game characters ever created. He first appeared in the arcade in 1981, and the game featured the premise of a giant ape throwing barrels down below as Mario raced his way to the top to save his girlfriend. But at this time, Mario wasn't even called Mario. He was called Jumpman, because he, jumped. Once the NES came around, the popular Donkey Kong game was ported to the NES, and even included in the Donkey Kong's Classic Collection. This version of the game is scaled back a little, but we still find Mario avoiding barrels being tossed at him. Once the game begins, it's time to hightail it the hell out of here. Because once that first barrel hits the fire can, it then becomes sentient, and tries coming after you. Damn, what the hell's in that fire? The higher you climb, the more intense the game becomes. Barrels fall down ladders, and zigzag from above. So watch your ass, Jumpman. Aw, you piece of crap. For someone whose name is Jumpman, you should have made that. Well, there's only one way to combat these barrels, and it's by grabbing this hammer. I always hate getting this hammer because you have to wait around a while until the power-up wears off. Oh geez, can we speed this up a little? I'm down here waiting around for nothing while my girlfriend is up there scared out of her mind and, drinking wine? That smooth-talking monkey. Stay away from my girlfriend! The next board here is probably the easiest, since this area is the one that causes the most problems. Jump at the right time and you'll make it through unharmed. Now we can just climb our way to victory and, oh you asshole! I was right there! The last level in this Donkey Kong game requires you to run around and collect these pins, which will then cause Donkey Kong to fall right on his noggin, leaving you with some alone time with your girlfriend.
So, you had some wine with Donkey Kong, eh?
After that, the game starts back over from the first level again. Wait a minute, that was only 3 levels. Son of a bitch, the original arcade game had 4! Where the hell's the conveyor belt level at? What the hell? This entire level is missing from the NES version. It's bad enough that the Donkey Kong setup screen is gone, as well as the iconic intros and outros. But an entire level missing from this game? How can you even call this Donkey Kong Classics? Without the level, it's reduced to being Donkey Kong's incomplete pile of shit! Let's head over to the second game called Donkey Kong Jr., which actually does have all 4 levels intact. This game finds Donkey Kong being the one that needs saved, as Jr. comes to the rescue. Just watch out for those blue alligators, though. Huh, I didn't realize you could accessorize your alligators. In the next level, we find moving vines, flying birds, and even bird shit. Damn, this game is getting pretty bold. Well, I guess it's not as bad as the next level, which I think we're in a computer, avoiding electrical sparks. And the last level requires some fancy lock-pushing skills until Donkey Kong is set free. And wow, look at the strength of this kid. Interesting how he can catch his own father who's 4 times his size, but still can't survive a bite from a mini alligator. The last Donkey Kong arcade game to be ported to the NES is Donkey Kong 3. Donkey Kong 3? Wait a minute, where the hell's number 2? Well, Donkey Kong 2 was never an arcade game, but was oddly enough one of those Game & Watch pocket games. Donkey Kong 2 follows the premise of playing as Junior while avoiding things like alligators, electrical sparks, and flying birds until Donkey Kong is set free. Sound familiar? Yep, because it's the exact same game as Donkey Kong Jr., but only consolidated into this single level. Of course, this version of Donkey Kong was dubbed Donkey Kong 2, just in case anyone was confused when the third game was released later that same year. Despite all this numbering system confusion, it's not worth the time or effort to even talk about, since Donkey Kong 3 is a complete train wreck. There's no barrels, springs, or even Marios to save the day. Instead, we have Stanley. Oh boy. In this game, Donkey Kong climbs high above calling upon his bees to attack you and steal your flowers. If this game sounds as dumb as my description, it is. The point is to spray Donkey Kong right in his ass, which causes him to climb higher. What makes this game so stupid though, is that you can beat the levels by forgetting all about the flowers below and just spray Donkey Kong. Boy, this is dumb. Why don't I shove a rocket up his ass and rid ourselves of this menace once and for all? Well, if this game wasn't enough to satisfy your Kong mania for the NES, Nintendo released a 4th Kong installment called Donkey Kong Math. What? Yes, this title has 2 different games you can play. The first one allows you to compete against a second player and climb around using your math skills to arrive at the same exact number that Donkey Kong is holding up. You can add, subtract, and multiply your way to victory. The first one to reach the magic number wins the game. And just what are we playing for exactly? Oh great, a chance to flex our muscles. In the second math game, you must solve this problem above by climbing to the corresponding number on the side. Answer correctly, and you'll be rewarded with some bird poop. Grab yourself a calculator, and you'll be able to shit your way to victory. Good God, this game sucks. Time to go apeshit on this thing. Fine, Alright guys, there you go, another episode of Season 5 of the Irate Gamer Show. I hope you enjoyed that ending as much as I did, because I crack up every time I see it. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel, check out the other Irate Gamer episodes, as well as the History of Video Games episodes, and game on.